Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on a Saturday afternoon. Is a food crisis looming? I'm not really sure. Before I get into it, though, this day in history, I'm kind of a history buff and geek, so every now and then I'm going to share these. But this day in history, 1776, what a year, right? Thomas Paine publishes Common Sense. It was a pamphlet. May have heard of it. 1776, published Common Sense, pamphlet setting forth his arguments in favor of American independence from Great Britain. This was originally published anonymously, but it gained wide circulation and was read to General George Washington's troops. Considered one of the most influential pamphlets in American history, Common Sense is credited with uniting average citizens and political leaders, imagine that, behind the idea of independence. Do we know what independence still means? The well-timed essay played a remarkable role in transforming a colonial squabble into a revolution. I like to share those every now and then. To the topic. Again, food crisis looming. Now, I didn't talk about this really during the holidays because I didn't really see any huge red flags waving. I didn't see a big issue where I live or some places that I've gone to and shopped and such. But it's picking up steam here lately. I see a lot of chatter about it in social media, a lot of videos about it. Started to look into it a little more and thinking about it, talking to people. Like I said, there's just a lot of talk about it, especially since the first of this month. So I did notice in my area over the last 24, 48 hours when I've been to the stores, I've been to several. I've been to Aldi, Kroger, and Publix. The biggest thing I've seen as far as shortage is meat, especially beef and chicken, fresh chicken, big time. The price on both just keeps notching up there, just keeps going up. But the chicken, the shortage in the chicken was what I really noticed, more so than even during the holidays. So, be several reasons for that. Um, One is the weather delay. I just wonder if, with all the bad weather, the snow, the ice, it's really caused a lot of backups, especially in the Northeast and the Midwest. So, is that part of the problem? Stores aren't getting their orders. I don't know. Uh, Another theory I've heard is that some chains are purposely holding back stocking the stores real full right now to try to create a shortage or to get people, to see some bare shelves, see the shelves just a little bit bare, to where people kind of go in a frenzy of buying things to create a this air of a shortage or crisis and to keep the prices high, keep that inflation going. I'm not so sure about that. And then another one is that illnesses are, the flu season is going around, this variant still kicking. So that a lot of people are out sick or in a quarantine situation, and it's just affecting everything from transportation to who puts the products on the shelves, the stockers. So any of you grocery store insiders, transportation insiders in the business, if you have any light to shine on this, please do. Please share what you're hearing, what you're seeing out there. Is this just a temporary thing? Is it a trend that will continue into this year or through this year? So I did come across an article that talked about this. Basically, talked about meat and eggs, and that a lot of different supermarket chains around the country are reporting bare shelves, especially with these two things, meat, fresh meat, and eggs. So it talked about how it's impacting farms, manufacturing, distributors, and it's also talked about how they think it could be a big factor could be the fact that a lot of workers from truck drivers to the stockers to the distribution people to the meat processing are either out sick or on a quarantine situation that's just backlogging everything again. So kind of similar to what we've seen before 2020. Schools, daycare centers, of course, affected, businesses of all types. It did say, this is sort of interesting, it did say that meat companies have again seen the numbers of hogs and cattle slaughter decline by as much as 6% just in the past week. This article came out today. That's according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture figures. The paper also adds that processing plants, are finding it difficult to obtain food inspectors to come to work to oversee the processing of animals. So that's a little concerning, and that's legally required. Of course, I hope it's legally required. Whew. Also see where the this container ship backlog situation is really not any better out on the West Coast, and it says that they're also having a log jam in New York as well with container ships. So that has gotten worse since the holidays or before. So that's an issue. Could be part of it. I'm not sure. But again, if you share what you're seeing out there where you live. But the big thing, in my opinion, even bigger than the big thing, and I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to talk about it again. This month, I believe, is very consequential. I think this is a huge month for this year because, as we know, the Supreme Court is considering, is hearing, trying to decide whether or not to back the big mandates. So, and I'm telling you, if they allow this, if they put their blessing on this, buddy, I'm telling you, a lot of industries, I think a lot of things can grind to a halt. A lot of industries, millions of workers are going to be impacted by this. Millions are going to say, thousands, millions are going to say, or already have, forget about it, like a lot of healthcare workers have. I'm out. Peace out. And that's transportation, that's healthcare, manufacturing, meat processing, food processing of all types, first responders, law enforcement. So, and that's just some, for first responders, I think you could have without rule of law in a lot of places. You already have that in some places. A lot of these first responders, law enforcement, EMTs, all these guys, firefighting stretched to the limit right now as it is with quarantines and such. But if this mandates go through, I think you could have a total breakdown of basic services in a lot of places, right? And I have this, been thinking about it. 2022, I'm trying to stay positive. I really am. I'm a positive person, but I really think we're in for big, big changes. I really do. It's global. Is what is happening in Kazakhstan going to spread? But I think, and I don't know exactly what it'd be, but I think we're just in for huge, huge changes. It could be one or two big things, events. It could be a lot of small ones. I don't really know. Can't put my finger on it, but I feel something is happening, gonna happen, and soon this year. So it may not be all bad, may not, hopefully not. But let's keep prepping and praying. And one thing we do know that won't change, of course, is Jesus Christ. God is still in control. Jesus is the King of Kings. Amen. Have you ever made plans and they just don't go that way? We make plans and God laughs sometimes. So I'm trying to is pray for the wisdom and the faith to just fulfill his purposes. It may not look like what we think it's going to look like. It may not go as planned, the way we want it to be. But we must keep the faith. Remember the mustard seed. The mustard seed. If you just have a mustard seed size of faith, it's huge. So a couple of things I want to share as well. So keeping that in mind, Lamentations, that's some good stuff. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22, 23 says, because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. New every morning. And then another one for you, Isaiah 43:19 says, behold, I will do a new thing. So change is always happening in our lives, you know. So, uh, Lord our God is the constant. Let's keep praying that. For now, that is my message. Keep prepping, like I said. Keep praying. Stay safe out there. Be aware, and God bless you. Share what you think about all this stuff. I appreciate it. See you soon.